So did you have any injuries leading up to your ACL, or was that the first significant
That was
injury?
the first significant injury, besides that ankle sprain.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so that happened during the away game.
Okay.
And it was a contact MOI.
Got it.
Yeah, somebody basically landed on my knee and
Okay.
I felt the pop. My leg went numb. I couldn't get up. It wasn't really painful per se. I couldn't get up. I couldn't feel my leg. And that happened in front of our team bench.
Mm-hmm.
So they came out and carried me to the side and I wanted to play. So after like taking a couple minutes, I went up to my coach and said, "Hey, I think I'm okay. Put me back in." My coach at the time had ACL too.
Uh-huh.
And his ACL injury was really, really painful that he couldn't believe I was walking around, and
Got
he
it.
told me to squat down, and I did squat in front of him. It
Got
was
it.
painful, but I could bear it. So I was
Yeah.
like, I think I could do it.
Yeah.
So he put me back in
Got it.
and I ran around, but every time I try to cut, my knee will buckle. And
Got it.
that's when I kind of knew something really is wrong with
Yeah.
my knee, but I finished the game anyway.
You finished the game.
Yeah.
How was this like towards the end of the game, or how much more did you have to play?
I think it was, so at the time, we only had 2 sets of 20 minutes.
Got it.
That was the
Okay.
game structure. And it was the second half.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, but I finished it, but then at the end, my knee was like,
Blown up.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you know how Japanese bathroom is squat down style?
Yeah, yeah.
I couldn't use it because
Yeah.
I couldn't bend down.
Yeah.
So I struggled using
Yeah.
bathroom. I
Yeah.
had to keep my one leg straight, and I was
Yeah.
holding like both sides of
Yeah, yeah.
the wall to one leg
Yes.
squat, single leg squat, and then I had to catch a train
Oh no.
to go home.
Yes.
And you know how Japanese train is
Yeah.
packed.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it was like 45 minutes train ride.
Yeah.
And from the station though, I called my mom, like, "Mom, can you come pick me up?"
Yeah, you can't walk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, there's so many things that I'm curious about now. So before we get into the aftermath of the tearing your ACL,
Yeah.
did you guys do a lot of strength and conditioning at this time?
High school, not so much.
Not so much.
Yeah.
So it was just practices.
Yeah,
And-
I mean, we do have, just like, you know, how the practices are here, we do some conditioning drills like that at the beginning, you know, warm
it.
up and conditioning. And we do have weight training days, but not as
like consistently.
vigorous. Yeah.
Okay. Because I mean, well, you know your body more
Mm-hmm.
than anyone does. So what do you think helped you to play or finish the rest of the game? Because for me, I would think, oh, maybe it was because you were just really strong, and even though you were buckling, right? It was
Yeah.
like you still were functional.
I
to a
only
certain
ran
extent.
straight.
Yeah, you only ran straight.
Yeah.
Yeah. But in hindsight, do you think that, I mean, what do you think it was that allowed you to even run straight? Right?
I think, which isn't good.
Uh-huh.
I don't say this in the, I'm not proud of this,
Yeah.
but culture.
Just to push through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Push through and like playing through the pain and injuries
Yeah.
are considered good,
Yeah.
or I don't know, even like beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I totally had that mindset
Just
at the
to
time.
push through it.
Yeah. And plus, like, nobody was able to assess my injury.
Yes.
Had somebody told me,
Yeah.
you know, that
Then you wouldn't have
or
gone.
stopped me, then I would have. But
Yes. So that leads me to the second question, is because, you know, and it's still like this today, right? There's not a lot of certified athletic trainers like in the US, in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no one to really evaluate on the spot. So, I mean, you're making it all the way to the train station when you're realizing, okay, I'm not going to be able to walk.
Yeah.
So what's the aftermath of this? When did you find out that you tore your ACL? And what's that process like?
Yeah. So, have you heard of Golden Week in Japan?
No, I don't think
It's
so.
May, and it's like a week straight holidays.
Okay.
Yeah. So that happened just before the Golden Week.
Got it.
all the hospitals were closed, and
no.
I wasn't, I didn't even think to go to an emergency room.
Okay.
So we waited maybe like 4 or 5 days to make an appointment with the doctor. And where I'm from is really country. So we went to an orthopedic doctor in town, and really old grandpa kind of doctor
Yes.
told me straight up that you're not going to be able to play basketball anymore.
Oh,
Like your career is
forever.
over.
Yeah.
High school.
Yeah.
And I cried
Yeah.
because
Yes.
basketball was passion at the
Yeah.
time. But at the same time, I knew it wasn't true. He told me it's an ACL because, the basketball magazines like that. And I read story about how this player came back from ACL injuries. So I knew that wasn't true.
Yes.
So I asked my parents to take me to a different hospital, like a more up-to-date hospital, sports medicine specifically. And that doctor there told me that, oh yeah, you can go back to play basketball as long as you get surgery. And so that's when I decided to go through the surgical procedure. And yeah.